What if I told you that some of Hollywood's biggest legends had careers brighter than the Vegas Strip, but made decisions worse than ordering pineapple on pizza, from Oscar winners to music icons? These stars had everything: money, fame, millions of fans. Yet behind closed doors, addiction changed their lives forever. And trust me, some of these stories are more shocking than you could ever imagine. Number 1. Britney Spears. Britney Spears wasn't just the princess of pop, she practically owned the 2000s. Her songs dominated the charts, her concerts sold out everywhere. And at one point, flipping on MTV without seeing Britney was probably harder than finding a parking spot in Los Angeles. To millions of fans, she seemed to have the perfect life, but behind the flashing cameras, a very different story was unfolding. Reports later suggested that Britney had struggled with substance abuse for years while dealing with overwhelming fame and constant public scrutiny. During her controversial conservatorship, former associates and staff claimed that medications played a major role in her daily life, while those around her described dramatic mood swings and unusual behavior. In Hollywood, everyone wants to be famous until fame starts acting like an unpaid roommate that never leaves. Despite the chaos, Britney refused to stay down forever. In 2021, she finally regained her freedom after a long legal battle that captured the world's attention. While the scars from her past remain, her resilience continues to inspire millions of fans. Her story is proof that sometimes surviving the spotlight can be far more difficult than stepping into it in the first place. Number 2. Errol Flynn. Long before Hollywood had modern heartthrobs, Errol Flynn was the original king of charm. With legendary roles in The Adventures of Robin Hood and Captain Blood, he became the definition of a silver screen gentleman. Women adored him, men wanted to be him, and producers probably thought he could sell movie tickets just by smiling at a camera for 2 hours. But off-screen, Flynn's life looked less like a classic romance and more like a non-stop after-party that refused to end. He developed a reputation for heavy drinking, chain-smoking, and drug use while surrounding himself with lavish parties and endless controversy. Apparently, the only thing moving faster than his career was his social calendar. Unfortunately, that lifestyle came with consequences that even Hollywood magic couldn't erase. As scandals and legal troubles mounted, Flynn's image began to crumble, and years of substance abuse took a serious toll on his health. He passed away in 1959 at just 50 years old, leaving behind both an extraordinary film legacy and a cautionary tale about the darker side of fame. In the end, the man who played heroes on screen was fighting battles in real life that no scriptwriter could ever control. Number 3. River Phoenix. Before Joaquin Phoenix became a Hollywood powerhouse, his older brother, River Phoenix, was already the industry's golden boy. Handsome, talented, and adored by fans everywhere, River looked destined for a career that could have lasted for decades. Hollywood saw him as the future, basically the kind of guy who could walk into any audition and make everyone else wonder why they even showed up. But behind the charm and success, River was hiding a dangerous secret. After his relationship with actress Martha Plimpton ended in 1989, concerns about his drug use began to surface. Determined to protect both his image and career, he kept his struggles out of the spotlight so well that many people around him had no idea what he was going through. Sometimes in Hollywood, people are so good at acting that even real life becomes another performance. Without the support he desperately needed, his addiction continued to grow until tragedy struck in 1993. River passed away at just 23 years old, leaving behind a promising career and countless unanswered questions. His story remains one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking reminders that fame can open every door in the world, except the one leading away from personal battles hidden behind a perfect smile. Number 4. DMX. DMX wasn't just a rapper, he was a force of nature. With his unmistakable voice, explosive energy, and hits like X Gon Give It To Ya, he dominated hip-hop and built a loyal fan base around the world. The man could bark on a track one time and somehow millions of people thought, yep, that's exactly what this song needed. He was raw, real, and completely unforgettable. But behind the success, DMX carried a burden that started long before fame ever arrived. He revealed that he was introduced to crack cocaine at just 14 years old, a moment that changed the course of his life forever. Even after becoming a superstar and a father, addiction remained a battle he fought for decades. He entered rehab multiple times and repeatedly promised himself and his family that things would get better, but the struggle never truly disappeared. In 2021, the music world was devastated when DMX passed away at the age of 50, following a tragic overdose. Yet his legacy lives far beyond his personal battles. Fans still celebrate his music, his honesty, and the incredible energy he brought to every stage he stepped on. His story is a powerful reminder that even the loudest voices can be carrying silent pain behind the spotlight. Number 5. Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher wasn't just Princess Leia, she was the queen of a generation. After Star Wars made her a global icon, millions adored her and her fame reached another galaxy entirely. From the outside, her life looked perfect. But as it turns out, defeating the Empire was easier than winning the battles happening inside her own mind. Behind the cameras, Carrie struggled with bipolar disorder, severe mood swings, and depression. In an effort to cope with the overwhelming pressure of Hollywood, she turned to prescription drugs and other substances, later admitting they made her feel normal. Carrie never lost her sense of humor, though. She often joked about her chaotic life, proving that sometimes the funniest people are fighting the toughest battles behind closed doors. Determined to find peace, she explored different treatments, while continuing to inspire audiences with her honesty and wit. Sadly, years of physical and emotional struggles eventually caught up with her, and the world said goodbye in 2016. Carrie Fisher's greatest legacy wasn't just a lightsaber or a legendary movie role. It was her courage to speak openly about the invisible battles that so many people face every day. Number 6. John Michael Vincent. Back in the 1980s, John Michael Vincent wasn't just a TV star, he was the TV star. As the fearless pilot in Airwolf, he became one of television's highest-paid actors, earning an incredible $200,000 per episode. To fans, he looked unstoppable. The man could fly a fictional military helicopter every week and somehow make it cooler than owning a Ferrari. Life seemed to be running on full throttle. But behind the cameras, Jan was fighting a much darker battle. He openly admitted to struggling with drug addiction during the height of his success, and his troubles quickly spilled into real life. Multiple arrests, violent incidents, and constant legal problems began overshadowing his career. Hollywood can forgive a lot, but apparently turning your personal life into an action movie without a script isn't one of them. Even after entering rehab in 1988, the road to recovery remained incredibly difficult. A series of devastating car accidents left him with permanent injuries, including damage to his voice, yet the cycle of addiction and self-destruction continued for years. When Jan passed away in 2019, at the age of 74, he left behind not only a television legacy, but also a powerful reminder that sometimes the most dangerous crashes happen long after the cameras stop rolling. If this story surprised you, hit subscribe and support the channel. More shocking Hollywood stories are coming next. Number 7. Nick Stahl. Nick Stahl looked like he had the perfect Hollywood roadmap. He became a rising star after appearing in The Man Without a Face and quickly built a promising career that many young actors would have envied. At one point, it seemed like the only direction his career could go was up, because, well, Hollywood usually loves a talented kid who can actually remember his lines and show up on time. But behind the scenes, Nick was fighting personal demons that slowly took control of his life. After starting a family in 2009, things began to unravel, and just a few years later, his marriage ended amid concerns about his behavior and substance abuse. In 2012, he was even reported missing, sending fans into a frenzy before it was revealed that he had entered rehab. Unfortunately, that wasn't exactly the Hollywood comeback everyone was hoping for. The troubles continued when Nick was later arrested for methamphetamine possession, and he openly admitted that he would use almost anything to escape the way he felt when sober. Thankfully, after stepping away from the spotlight and focusing on recovery, he found a path forward. Today, Nick is working to rebuild both his life and career, proving that sometimes the greatest role an actor can play is becoming the hero of his own story. Number 8. Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen wasn't just a television star, he was the king of sitcom success. At the height of 2.5 Men, he was earning millions and becoming one of the most recognizable faces in America. Everything he touched seemed to turn into gold. Honestly, if confidence were an Olympic event, Charlie probably would have taken home the gold medal, the silver medal, and somehow hosted the after-party too. But fame came with a wild side that quickly became impossible to ignore. Reports of non-stop partying, substance abuse, and public scandals followed him everywhere. His first trip to rehab came in 1998, yet the battles continued for years. Legal troubles and personal conflicts soon overshadowed his incredible career, proving that sometimes the biggest drama in Hollywood happens long after the director yells, "Cut." Then came one of the most shocking moments of all. In 2015, Charlie publicly revealed that he was HIV positive, a confession that stunned fans worldwide and helped raise awareness about the disease. While his reputation remains as controversial as ever, Charlie Sheen's story is a reminder that fame, fortune, and a hit TV show can't always protect someone from the consequences of their own choices, and that real life can be far crazier than any sitcom script. Number 9. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson was one of Hollywood's biggest stars throughout the 80s and 90s. With hit movies and undeniable charisma, he seemed untouchable. For years, everything he touched turned into box office gold. Honestly, Hollywood loved him so much that if Mel had starred in a movie about watching paint dry, somebody probably would have bought a ticket. But behind the success, Mel struggled with alcohol from a very young age. He later admitted that he started drinking at just 13, and over the years, that habit led to several legal troubles, including multiple drunk driving incidents. While most people start their mornings with coffee, Mel once joked that beer worked just fine, though his public image definitely paid the price. Despite the controversies, many colleagues still praised his professionalism and dedication on set. His successful return with Hacksaw Ridge proved that talent can survive even the toughest storms. Mel Gibson's story is a reminder that fame may open every door, but overcoming personal demons is often the hardest battle of all. Number 10. Judy Garland. Judy Garland became a superstar before most kids even learned how to ride a bike without crashing into a mailbox. Thanks to her unforgettable role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, she captured the hearts of millions and grew into one of Hollywood's greatest icons. Awards, fame, and endless admiration followed her everywhere. From the outside, she looked like she had found the yellow brick road to a perfect life. But behind the spotlight, Judy faced enormous pressure from the film industry. Executives constantly criticized her appearance, and the non-stop demands of fame slowly took a toll on her mental health. Searching for an escape, she turned to prescription drugs, beginning a struggle that would haunt her for years. It turns out that in Hollywood, getting to Oz was much easier than finding peace in real life. By the late 1950s, her addiction had affected both her career and finances, leaving her overwhelmed by debt and personal hardship. Tragically, Judy passed away in 1969, ending one of the most remarkable yet heartbreaking stories in entertainment history. Her legacy still shines today, reminding us that even the brightest stars can carry hidden pain behind their biggest smiles. Which celebrity story shocked you the most so far? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to support the channel for more unbelievable Hollywood stories. Number 11. Maciek Faczek. Maciek Faczek wasn't just a musician, he was a legend in Nigeria. Known as the Rainmaker, he dominated the music scene throughout the 1980s and 90s, with unforgettable hits and collaborations with global superstars. At the peak of his fame, his future looked brighter than a stage spotlight during a sold-out concert. Everything seemed to be going exactly according to plan. But behind the music and success, Maciek was quietly battling substance abuse. As the years passed, addiction began taking a heavy toll on both his health and finances. By 2015, shocking images of the once vibrant star surfaced online, leaving fans heartbroken. The man who once filled stadiums was now fighting to rebuild his own life. Fame may buy a lot of things, but unfortunately, it doesn't come with a user manual. Refusing to give up, Maciek entered rehab and worked hard to recover. He spent his final years making music, reconnecting with loved ones, and finding peace away from the chaos that once surrounded him. When he passed away in 2020 at the age of 57, he left behind not only a remarkable musical legacy, but also a powerful story about resilience, redemption, and the courage to keep going even after life takes an unexpected turn. Number 12. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston wasn't called the Voice for nothing. With over 200 million records sold worldwide, she became one of the greatest singers in music history. Her talent seemed almost unreal, like somebody in heaven accidentally turned every setting up to maximum before sending her down to earth. For millions of fans, Whitney represented perfection, elegance, and pure star power. But behind the incredible success, Whitney was fighting battles that no standing ovation could fix. In a candid interview with Oprah, she openly discussed her struggles with drugs and admitted that addiction became a way to escape emotional pain and the pressure that came with global fame. The brighter her spotlight became, the harder it was to hide the personal struggles happening behind closed doors. As it turns out, even the world's most beautiful voice still needed someone to listen. Despite entering rehab and trying to reclaim her life, the fight continued for years. In 2012, the music world was devastated by her tragic passing, bringing an end to an extraordinary career that inspired generations. Yet Whitney's legacy remains untouchable. Her songs still move millions, proving that while personal battles may leave scars, true greatness can never be erased. Number 13. Courtney Love. Courtney Love has spent decades proving that she was never meant to live a quiet life. As the frontwoman of Hole and a successful actress, she built a career that kept her in the spotlight for years. But let's be honest, being married to Kurt Cobain meant that a normal, drama-free Tuesday was probably never an option. Their relationship fascinated the world and became one of rock music's most unforgettable love stories. Behind the fame, however, both Courtney and Kurt struggled with heroin addiction, a battle that brought enormous pressure and endless media attention. When Courtney became pregnant, she made the difficult decision to quit drugs for her child's sake, but rumors and public criticism continued to follow her everywhere. In Hollywood and rock music, gossip tends to travel faster than Wi-Fi, and Courtney found herself at the center of it all. After Kurt's tragic passing, Courtney continued fighting her own personal demons, entering rehab multiple times and working to maintain her sobriety. Although she experienced setbacks over the years, she has remained determined to move forward. Her story is a reminder that surviving fame can sometimes be the greatest act of rebellion, and that second chances are often harder to earn than platinum records. Number 14, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan was once Hollywood's ultimate teen superstar. After unforgettable roles in The Parent Trap and Freaky Friday, producers couldn't sign her fast enough. She had talent, charm, and a future brighter than a red carpet covered in camera flashes. Honestly, in the early 2000s, Lindsay wasn't just having a moment, she was the moment. But fame arrived at full speed, and so did the wild party lifestyle that came with it. Late-night outings, missed film shoots, and growing concerns about substance abuse soon became bigger headlines than her movies. By 2007, multiple DUI arrests and legal troubles had pushed her career into dangerous territory. Hollywood loves a comeback story, but showing up late to your own comeback is usually not part of the plan. Lindsay later admitted that her life had spun out of control because of drugs and alcohol, leading her to seek professional help and enter rehab. Since leaving treatment in 2013, she has worked hard to rebuild both her career and personal life. While the scars from those difficult years remain, her journey proves that even after hitting rock bottom, it's still possible to write a brand new chapter, and maybe one with a much happier ending. Number 15, Robert Downey Jr. Before becoming Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. was living a real-life story that was far more chaotic than any Marvel movie. He rose to fame in the 1980s with his incredible talent and natural charisma, becoming one of Hollywood's brightest young stars. Honestly, the guy had so much charm that if confidence could power a city, Los Angeles would have never had another blackout. But behind the success, Robert struggled with addiction from an early age, after being introduced to drugs as a child. Years of substance abuse led to arrests, failed drug tests, and even time behind bars. His career nearly collapsed, and many believed his Hollywood story was over. It turns out that fighting real-life demons is a lot tougher when you don't have an Iron Man suit sitting in the garage. Everything changed when Robert committed himself to recovery with the support of his future wife, Susan. By 2003, he had turned his life around, paving the way for one of the greatest comebacks in entertainment history. Today, his journey proves that sometimes the most powerful superhero origin stories happen long after the world has stopped believing in you. Number 16, Tara Reid. Tara Reid was one of Hollywood's favorite stars in the late 90s and early 2000s. From American Pie to The Big Lebowski, she built a successful acting career and became a regular face on magazine covers. She even launched her own restaurant and fashion line. At one point, Tara seemed determined to prove that sleeping was optional and that having just one career was simply too boring. But behind the glamorous lifestyle, things weren't nearly as perfect as they appeared. A cosmetic procedure in 2006 left her with serious physical complications, and her struggles with alcohol and substance use only made life more difficult. The constant pressure of fame and public attention slowly took a toll, turning what looked like a dream life into a series of painful challenges behind closed doors. In 2008, Tara made a life-changing decision, and entered rehab later, calling it the best choice she had ever made. Since then, she has continued moving forward while openly acknowledging the mistakes and hardships of her past. Her story proves that sometimes the strongest comeback isn't about returning to the spotlight. It's about finding the strength to rebuild yourself when the cameras stop rolling. Number 17, Daniel Baldwin. Daniel Baldwin came from one of Hollywood's most famous acting families, but his journey to stardom was anything but smooth. While the Baldwin name opened plenty of doors, Daniel quickly discovered that success in Hollywood doesn't come with an instruction manual or a warning label. At one point, his life seemed to be moving faster than a blockbuster action movie with no breaks. Everything changed in 1998, when he made headlines for one of the strangest celebrity incidents of the decade. Daniel was arrested after running naked through the Plaza Hotel while shouting his own last name, and was later charged with cocaine possession. He later admitted that his addiction had started years earlier, becoming a powerful force that nearly destroyed both his career and personal life. Apparently, even being famous isn't enough to convince your problems to take a day off. Unlike many celebrities, Daniel's battle centered almost entirely around cocaine. He entered rehab 9 different times before finally breaking free from addiction. Today, he uses those experiences to help others as a recovery coach, proving that sometimes the most important role a person ever plays isn't on a movie screen. It's becoming proof that a second chance is actually possible. Number 18, Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars built his career on pure talent, unforgettable songs, and enough charisma to light up an entire stadium. From Just the Way You Are to Uptown Funk, he became one of the biggest entertainers on the planet. Honestly, the guy made dancing look so effortless that half the world probably injured a knee trying to copy his moves in the living room. But in 2010, his rising career nearly took an unexpected turn when he was arrested for cocaine possession at a Las Vegas casino. At the time, Bruno claimed it was a foolish mistake and agreed to community service and other requirements to move past the incident. For a moment, it seemed like one bad decision might overshadow everything he had worked so hard to achieve. Apparently, what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas, especially when you're already becoming a global superstar. Instead of letting the controversy define him, Bruno learned from the experience and focused entirely on his music. Years later, he admitted that he hadn't been completely honest about his past, but viewed the entire episode as a lesson from his younger days. His story proves that even the brightest stars can stumble, but true talent shines brightest when it's given a second chance. Number 19, Zac Efron. Zac Efron went from Disney heartthrob to one of Hollywood's biggest leading men almost overnight. After High School Musical, he became the guy every teenager wanted to date, and every parent secretly wished their kid would marry. His career was on fire, and for a while it seemed like the only thing smoother than his dance moves was his path to superstardom. But behind the perfect image, Zac was struggling with alcohol and substance abuse while dealing with the pressures of fame. Reports described wild parties, sleepless nights, and unhealthy habits that slowly took control of his life. In 2013, he made the difficult decision to enter rehab and begin confronting the issues that had been hidden from the public. Turns out, surviving High School Musicals was easier than surviving real Hollywood drama. Determined to change his life, Zac joined support groups and committed himself to therapy and recovery. He later admitted that addiction is a lifelong challenge, but also said the experience helped him become more comfortable with who he truly is. Today, his journey stands as a reminder that even people who seem to have everything can struggle behind closed doors, and that asking for help is sometimes the bravest role anyone can play. Number 20. Brittany Murphy. Brittany Murphy was one of Hollywood's brightest stars, winning audiences over with unforgettable roles in Clueless and Freeway. She had the talent, the charm, and the kind of energy that could light up an entire movie set. Honestly, she made being adorable look so easy that the rest of Hollywood probably needed extra coaching sessions just to keep up. But behind the glamorous image, concerns about her health began to grow. Her dramatic weight loss and increasingly private lifestyle sparked endless rumors, while her marriage to Simon Monjack became the subject of constant media attention. Friends later revealed that Brittany had relied heavily on pain medication following cosmetic procedures, adding another layer to an already complicated story. In Hollywood, unfortunately, the gossip machine usually works overtime and rarely takes weekends off. The tragedy deepened in 2009 when Brittany passed away at just 32 years old. Only months later, her husband died under similarly mysterious circumstances, leaving fans shocked and searching for answers. While debates about the details continue, her legacy as a talented and beloved actress remains untouched. Her story is a heartbreaking reminder that behind every red carpet smile there may be struggles that the world never truly sees.